Hello, this is Al Perhacs and welcome to another session of Dynamic Mental Entrainment. I want to give you a good idea of how to control the mind most effectively. I think you're going to get a lot of great insight into how it works. And it's really one of the key components to how the Dynamic Mental Entrainment system is put together. I think once you see some of these concepts, you're going to be taken back by the power that's inside this system. Anyway, you've heard of hypnotic influence and subliminal suggestions. I mean, in fact, you may have even participated in my Mind Force Hypnotic Influence bootcamp, which to this date is one of my best systems. You may have also taken a look at our Subliminal Solution System, which quite frankly, I'll compare it to anything else on the market. Two fantastic products. But here's what I want to mention to you. You have hypnotic influence and you have subliminal suggestions. Hypnotic influence can be designed for yourself or for others. Subliminal suggestions, the same. They're both very important and they both have a very powerful system attached to them. Hypnotic influence, covert persuasion, you've got self-talk, affirmations, self-hypnosis, and several other nuances that go involved in it. Now, Dynamic Mental Entrainment is a little different in that it's a system that allows you to apply these concepts in a more powerful way. Let me explain. Influence method number one. And you know, we've got three different methods that we're going to talk about on this video. And I'm going to give you some insights as how they work. Now, these aren't exactly the main thrust of what goes on in Dynamic Mental Entrainment. There's a full system around these. But this is designed to help you differentiate and use these three different methods or three different modes. The first one is visual influence. And let's face it, visual influence is powerful. Everything you see, everything you read influences you. And so with the Dynamic Mental Entrainment system, I teach you how visually you have to be able to use this system in order to impact your brain. Subliminal suggestions are done on an auditory level, which I'll cover in just a minute. But visual references, visual influence is one of the ways that you want to be able to control your mind. If you've ever looked into, and maybe you have or maybe you haven't, looked into the concept of cults, you'll notice that they provide a lot of visual influence for their members. If you've ever been involved with a company, a corporation, a church group, visual influence is big. Same thing's true with Dynamic Mental Entrainment. Now, influence method number two. This is a biggie, and that is auditory influence. And who doesn't know about auditory influence? I just talked about hypnotic influence and subliminal suggestions. What I'm going to show you in a Dynamic Mental Entrainment system is a way that you can use auditory influence in order to stay on track for all your goals and objectives and everything that you're looking to accomplish. And so it's one of the key components to how I've set up the system. When I say I've set up the system, I've taken different components and used them. But obviously, auditory influence is a big one. And the last one is influence method number three. Kinesthetic influence. If you're familiar with kinesthetic or touching or feelings, it's really important. If you're going to influence yourself or others, being able to get a feeling out of it, being able to get an association that allows you to feel just like the group at large allows you better influence. It's just the way it works. And I show you exactly how it works. Again, it's a system. It's designed to be cohesive. It's designed to be synergistic. Let me explain a little bit more. Combining all three creates a synergistic effect like nothing else. You've got your visual influence. And when you put that together and you combine that, it gets pretty big. But then when you take a look at kinesthetic influence and you add that into the mix, and then auditory influence, you get something that's called synergy. That synergy is the Dynamic Mental Entrainment system. I'm going to show you specifically how you do that. But even if you don't get involved with Dynamic Mental Entrainment, I want to impart upon you the fact that when you use visual, kinesthetic, and auditory influences on yourself or others, you get a synergistic effect that will allow you to influence at a much higher level. I'll show you specifics, but you could probably gather just from what I'm showing right here of kind of what I'm talking about. you can take these concepts and plug them into whatever you're doing right now and get a really fantastic effect. I can tell you right now that the Dynamic Mental Entrainment System contains a 3-step process which is guaranteed to work every time you use it. I hope you've got some valuable information out of this video. Of course, if you have any questions or comments, please email me or contact the support desk. Thanks for watching and have a fantastic day. So long.